Today, I thought I'd do a video that's a bit different to the other videos that I've done. I'm speaking really to anyone that is starting YouTube or thinking about starting YouTube and wants to understand what the process is like. I had a very good first couple of weeks where I had lots of ideas. I felt very enthused, very encouraged, and I got 5 videos out there and got to 1,000 views, which I was really pleased with. But now the reality is set in that to keep this going, to continue that momentum, to do things at a pace and a quality that I would like, to keep getting better becomes more and more challenging every time I sit down to think about producing a video or to speak to camera or to get to the edit. Now, what I'm deliberately trying to do in this video is to not create something polished. I'm just speaking to the camera and sharing my thoughts, really. And it may be, therefore, that some of the things that I say don't flow very well or that I might stumble over my words. And for this video, I'm trying to show that I think that that is okay as part of the process. There are a few things that I've jotted down that I want to speak about. And the reason I'm doing this is because I think that for some of you, this will relate. And just to let you know that you're not alone in this. One of the things that I will speak about on this channel is the power of what I call, or what is called, I should say, peer support, which is a form of mental health support in one regard, or just generally a way to keep yourself healthy by sharing your feelings and having other people's feelings shared in a safe space. So that sounds a bit flimsy, but what it means is that I'm going to speak about what I'm feeling, and you don't need to give me an advice. You don't necessarily need to share with me, but by hearing what I'm saying, you might feel like, oh, that person's also going through something similar to me. So one of the things that I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling really overwhelmed by the constant need to improve with everything that I'm doing, from idea to idea, from script to script, from presentation to presentation, and in the edit as well. And that's one of the hardest things about starting YouTube, for example, and I guess this would be true of any creative endeavor, is you're having to learn like multiple skills, all in parallel, and trying to be better at them all every single time, whilst working full time and having a social life and having a wife and dog to attend to. Trying to get better at those things becomes harder and harder. It's a steep learning curve. So I'm really feeling that at the moment. I'm feeling that it's all just a bit daunting to think, oh, I'm going to make that edit better. How am I going to think about sound design? How am I going to do better scripts? I watched this video about like, this is how you write a killer script. It's got to be original. It's got to be this. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So that's the first thing that I'm feeling that sort of overarches everything. And that's disrupted me this week because I had my most successful video. I mean, I've only had 5, but I had a video reach almost 600 views, which I was completely blown away by. And I felt like this is a really positive step in my YouTube journey. Then I put out another video, and within 2 hours, it hadn't even made any sort of impression, had 0 views. And I sort of quickly took that down, which may or may not have been the right thing to do. But upon reflection, upon review of that video, I was like, I'm not really sure this is the kind of thing that I want to be doing. I'm really not sure where my direction is. So I'd spent hours on that. And in fact, it was a video about making another video that I'd not taken through to publishing. So I had ironically done a video about that and then not published the video about that. I may publish that just for reference at some point because it's there, it's ready, it's done. But losing 5 or 6 hours minimum of work and then having to start again and think about, well, if that idea is not good enough, what idea is good enough, was really quite demoralizing. And I lost that momentum from doing that video that gained 600 views, and I feel like I'm back at square one. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I also saw some stuff around like authenticity being something that's valued these days on YouTube in a way that maybe for the last 5 years it hasn't been. Just people being honest about what they're going through, speaking without much editing or much curation of their thoughts. And I don't know if you can tell, but I haven't so far stopped speaking or cut edit at any point. This is just me sharing with you. So yeah, I mean, I felt overwhelmed, that I lost that momentum. And that one of the reasons why that's happened is that I've watched videos where the advice does seem to conflict a little bit. I'm sure if you're a new creator, you've seen this too. It's like, just get out there and do it. And then on the other hand, it's like quality over quantity. Make sure you spend your time thinking about whether this idea is original, really making sure it's a killer title, thumbnail, script. And I'm starting to understand the general tenets of what successful YouTube creators think is important. But then you'll see another video that's like, don't worry about what anyone else says. So that's been really tough. And what's layered on top of that is that the reality of doing this type of thing is that it is hard work. You have to give yourself to it. And we, in our family, in our extended lives, have been going through some things, not completely all directly about us, but just some general stuff that's been heavy and hard to deal with. And when that's layered on top of all of the other stuff, it's like when you're a new content creator and this isn't your job and you don't have a team, how do you balance that? Like, I think sometimes new creators should do more formal peer support and speak to each other and do videos like this where we do then engage with each other and say, hey, I'm also going through that. Is there any way we can help each other? I think that's something that could be really valuable. Sorry, I just did my first cut there because my monitor said that the remote connection had lost, and I panicked that that entire soliloquy that I'd done was completely lost, and again, was pretty devastated. But thankfully, I think it did stay recording. There you go. The realities of doing this on your own. There's no sort of camera person to say, hang on a second, we go back, we can go do it, you know. And I really did want to do this as a stream of consciousness type video rather than edited neatly together. So apologies for that. That is hopefully the only edit that I'll do. So I decided, as I just sort of alluded to there, to just do this video very sort of quick and dirty whilst I had half an hour to just get out my thoughts, because one of the things that I'm really trying to hold on to, because I do have a couple of video ideas, but I'm just stopping myself from like moving forward with them. I've even written the scripts, I've got the titles and the thumbnails. It's just thinking that it's not going to be as good as I want it to be, but more so, I think, if I'm honest, as good as other people's, as other creators. And I have to keep coming back to that quote, which is just a really good piece of wisdom beyond the quote, which we can come to in my other videos. Comparison is the thief of joy. Like, I don't need my stuff to be as good or the same or have the same acclaim as other people's. This is a journey for me. I'm trying to get better at this. I'm trying to be honest and authentic with it. So I am trying my best to not worry about that. And I will this weekend. I'm committing on camera now. I will get at least one video out this weekend. That is my absolute promise to myself. And hopefully I'll film it later this afternoon and do the edit over the next couple of days. But that's the idea. But time is a limiting factor. You know, all of those things that I've discussed, working on your own, got a full-time job, got other commitments. You know, I run a football team. I've got a meeting on Monday. I played last night with another football team. I've got a charity that I volunteer for. All of these things, like on top of, at the moment, we're looking after a friend's dog on top of our own dog. You know, all of these things, like this, the reality of trying to do this thing on your own. So with all that in mind, I just wanted to get that out there. If you are a new creator and when you are listening to this, you are like, oh, you know what, that just resonates so much, then just drop a comment. Honestly, let's start a conversation. I'd really like to create that sort of peer network between people really trying to do this. And you don't have to be a new creator. I'm sure that a lot of more established creators feel the same thing. And actually, it'd be really great if people that have worked through this bit of their content creation journey could share some advice about what it was like for them, could really help us, the people that are on the early rungs of the ladder, to just feel like we're not going to fall off, if that makes sense. But anyway, for all of you that watch this video, thanks for being a cutie. Please check out my other videos about anxiety or about how I beat the dating apps, because I think that they are really good videos that I'm proud of, and I'm looking to create more along those lines in the coming days. So really excited to spend more time in this great network with you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.